good thing is follow your plan. Whatever it is, you got this plan, you got everything lined up, you got these, 9 weeks lined up. Some of you already have a couple weeks in the books and these kind of things, and you follow this plan through. Even if it's not working, keep going. Don't stop doing the stuff. Don't stop doing the flyering. Don't stop doing the postering. Don't stop doing the tables. Don't stop doing these things. Here you go, well, that's just vector talk there. Okay, keep going. Don't give up. Okay, here's why. You can't judge the results of your campuses till the end of the campaign. Because here's why. If you go and you do what we did this week, where we went and we sit at a campus for 2 days, and in those 2 days, we took probably 35 applications or so. From those 35 applications, we launched a person. Okay? Now, based on that, would I ever go back to that campus? No. Based on that, I never go back to the campus. However, over the last 4 years, that campus has yielded some really, really great recruits. Assistant manager type people, 15, $10,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, shippers over the course of campaigns. Like, that's what it's yielding. Okay? So if I didn't have history, like some of you new DMs is what I'm telling you this. If you didn't have history, you'd say, what about that campus? Bad campus, hard to recruit from, don't get bad recruits, whatever. You can throw it under a million different things. But that's what I tell you. Don't judge your campuses till the end of the campaign. In December or January, sit down with your DVM, look at the productivity from all your campus things. If you keep track of it right in Vector Live, you can even look at it specifically and go, hey, this campus was this campus was this campus was this, and that makes a big difference. So make sure you don't judge it. Before that, that's a big, big point. To follow your plan all the way through. So Marcus is going to come up, and what he's going to do is he's going to give you the specifics of how to run a grade on campus, how to really maximize when you are sitting there, you do have the table, you do have these things happening, and how to get those down. So give Marcus a hand.
Alrighty, guys. Good morning. Well, the first thing I'd like you to put on the on your notes there, and if you get anything from this message, is that now is not the time to chill. I don't know where this came from, but it's the old vectorism that the fall. Once the summer's over, it's like, cool, it's break time now. Let's hang out. And that's ridiculous because some of you guys are coming off an awesome summer. Some of you guys are coming off a bad summer, but you want to chill all of a sudden. Like we earned the right. And so think about, before we get into the message, I want you to think about what type of business owner would put in all these hours, thousands and thousands of dollars, and all this time to just kind of let it crash and burn. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And so one of the things I would like to pride myself on is that I run a year-round business. I'm definitely not the top manager in the room, but I'm consistent. And so that's one of the biggest things. Like, Vector should never have slow times. Run a business and run the business year-round. And so another thing I want you to think about too, that with your campus stuff, if you want to develop people, like now is the time to develop people. If you want to chill, if you want to take a vacation, take the vacation in 2 months from now. Stacy asked me, we came off our best summer just now, and he was like, hey, when are you going to take a vacation this year? And I was like, no, honestly, I want to keep things going. I'll take a vacation in October. But now's not the time to chill. So I'm going to talk to you about a few different sections here, and if you want to jot these down, and these are things you can bring back to your MIT and your assistant managers. The first one is that, why should you dedicate your time to the campus? So why? What do you call it when you set up a table on campus? It's a on-campus what? What is it? Information table interview. Okay, so an on-campus interview. In our office, the on-campus interview is in the schedule in the fall and spring, exactly like an interview would be every other day. It's in the schedule. Like, our interviews are no different than our on-campus interviews. They're always in the schedule. So, why dedicate your time to campus? The first one is that I want you to put down, they're practically free. They pretty much are free. You pay $40, they're still free. That's nothing. But they're practically free. The next one I want you to put down is they're the right recruit. You've all heard that. It's like fishing in the fishbowl, Another thing that I got from a meeting with Lloyd the other day is that our campus recruits, they're our highest PPR in the fall and spring. It was light years ahead of PRs. And hopefully someday this message will get to where, kind of like the PR talk when Stacy gave it a couple months ago, that it was like, we shouldn't have this talk because your on-campus interviews should just be like your normal interviews. It's just in the schedule. It's not something you have to be sold on. The next one I really want you to write down and think about is that you have nothing else to do Monday through Wednesday, and I know Stacy was saying through Friday, which is awesome. But nothing else to do Monday through Wednesday from 7 in the morning till 3 o'clock during the day. Nothing else to do. Like, we kid ourselves, we're like, dude, I'm busy, I've got all these other things going on. You have nothing to do. Get to your office at 9 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're wasting your time. You know, when I was a new district manager, I was like, oh, I'm putting in all these hours. You know, I'm there. But I was wasting my time. You know, you're a recruiter, so be out in front of people. Don't chill at your office. Also, think about this. You make your own schedule, so there's no excuses, obviously, to not be on campus. So if you need to adjust your schedule, because I've heard people say, well, I can't be on campus that much because I've got an actual interview at 2 o'clock. Well, who cares about the actual interview? Because where are you going to get those people from? Does that make sense? Like why are you going to run an interview for 2 people? So bump your interview back a couple hours, run a 4 and a 7. You know, instead of running a 2 o'clock interview. So I got to leave campus at 12 because I have to eat, and after that I have to take time to prep and get my apps ready and all these other things. So, and the next one, guys, the last reason, obviously, why you want to run campus is, you know, so you don't suck this fall. Seriously, the fall is the easiest time to thrive in our business, but it's also the easiest time to fail. How do you fail? Sit at your office. How do you fail? Sleep in Monday through Wednesday. You know, like I said, we just came off our best summer, and I worked more last week than I worked the entire summer. I was telling Matt and I were on campus like non-stop. We're on campus. I'll show you a schedule here in a little bit, but we're all freaking day, like full-time job all day. And I was like, dude, my feet hurt. Like, I haven't worked this hard in a long time. And this is the fall, the first week of the fall, and that's exactly why my feet hurt, because it was the first week of the fall. The next one I'm going to give you guys, we're going to walk through some campus tips. There's 12 campus tips, kind of random, but that's just the way it kind of broke down here. The first one I'm going to give you, and this is one of the biggest things for me, is that you have to set them in advance, and set a lot of them in advance. If you don't set them in advance, what you're going to do is you're going to, oh man, I got to get up early and this and that, but when you have them already scheduled, you're not going to just, you know, do a no-show there, no call, no-show. So make sure they're set up. Like, I would set them for months. Have plenty of help, too. If you walked on our campus at UTSA with Matt and I last week, there were 10 plus people around that table at all times. Like, your table needs to be the pimpest table around. Like, better than, you look at a fraternity table and they're schmucks compared to our table. Because everybody's chilling at our table. They're either hanging out, or they're flying, or they're working, or just chilling, you know? And so, your table needs to be legit. You know, you need to have a lot of people there. I would never go on campus with less than 3 people. You're like, dude, I don't have 3 people. Yeah, you do. Did you run training last week? There's your 3 people. You know, so anybody on campus. Don't go on campus alone, though. That's lame. The next thing, make sure that you actually plan a schedule. So not only plan a schedule with your actual candidates. Here's our schedule from last week. I didn't type this up for the talk, and it's in the little red writing here. But this was actually a schedule that I emailed to all my guys. And it's got minute by, and I've got the handout here that I'll actually email to you guys later on, but it's minute by minute exactly when they're coming to hang out. Like, when they're coming to flyer, it's in here. So everybody's held accountable. Like, even if it's 15 minutes, they're in there, there's shifts. And we've got a ton of people there, obviously. So make sure it's plain and make sure they know when they're expected to be there. The next one I put down, you know, make sure that you're on campus. This is a no-brainer. Monday through Wednesday, at least Monday through Wednesday, throughout the first 2 months. I used to be the idiot that would say, oh, dude, well, Monday through Wednesday, I'm going to play on my campuses. Well, yeah, exactly. You want to play out your campuses in September and October. That's the goal. You know, the goal is for, you know, everybody on that campus to know exactly who you are. You know, let's worry about playing out the campuses once you get there, but you're not there yet, so play it out. The next one, we never used to go early. We would get there at 10 o'clock. And we get set up by, because you guys know what happens when you get to on campus. You're like, okay, we're scheduled from 10 to 2, and you get there, and then when you actually start working, it's 10:15, 10:20. But guess what happens at 10:15 or 10:20? What's that? Classes are in session. So what are you doing at 10:15 and 10:20? Chilling? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So Matt and I committed this semester, like every time we're on campus, we're there at 7:30 in the morning. Do I like to get there at 7:30? No. But if I'm going to be there, I want to tear it up. You know, I'm not going to go to campus. I'm not going to take action. I'm not going to stand there for hours just to say that I was on campus. Does that make sense? Because sometimes, especially as a new district, I remember like, dude, we took all these apps